Hi guys, I'm Claire Akin, the Fiddle Leaf Fig Girl, and today I want to talk to you about the 7 things that I wish I knew before I bought my first fiddle leaf fig. So I have so many people emailing me problems with their fiddle leaf figs, and the truth is that they're not that easy to grow unless you know a lot about the plant before you buy one. And so most of us have gone through a few fiddle leaf fig plants before we figure out what we need to know to get it right. So today I'm going to walk you through the 7 things that I wish I knew. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know about fiddle leaf figs is that they are not like other houseplants that really like a lot of high humidity and to be very wet. They actually like pretty dry soil, and they like really, really good drainage. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you have a good draining pot and fast draining soil. And if you don't have a good draining pot or fast draining soil, you're really risking root rot, which is the #1 killer of fiddle leaf figs. And that's when you get brown spots or dropping leaves. And so after so many people were having issues with root rot, we created 2 really, really cool products to help you with your drainage. The first is our Smart Gravel product. This is a solution that goes at the very bottom of your pot to act as a ballast to keep your root ball happy and off of the water at the bottom of your pot. This is something that you pour in a single layer at the bottom of your pot before you put in your plant or any soil. The second product that's really, really cool is our Fiddle Leaf Fig soil. Now this is a soil that's designed specifically for fiddle leaf figs to help prevent against over and underwatering. It's very fast draining, it's very porous, and so the plants do really well in this soil because it helps them to protect against root rot. And so using these 2 drainage solutions is a really great surefire way to make sure that your plant does not get overwatered and that it doesn't get killed by root rot. Okay, and the second thing I wish I knew about fiddle leaf figs is how much sunlight that they love. They absolutely love to soak up the sun. They are going to want to be in the sunniest location in your house. The more light, the better. They can actually grow in full sunlight, but of course indoors they probably won't have full sunlight. But it's important to put them in a very sunny location so they get the sunlight that they need. Another tip is to keep their leaves really, really clean because they cannot absorb sunlight if they have dust or debris or dirt on their leaves. So you're going to want to clean your plant periodically, and we make some cool houseplant leaf shine wipes that you can actually just take out a wipe and wipe down your plant. Keep it really clean and healthy so that it can absorb all of the sunlight that it needs to stay really happy. Okay, the third thing I wish I knew is that they do not like to be overwatered. So many people are killing their fiddle leaf figs with kindness by watering them too often, and I did this to several plants before I figured it out. It's really hard to tell somebody when is the right time to water their fiddle leaf fig because it depends on a lot of things. First of all, how big is your plant? How much sunlight is it getting? How warm is it in your area? How large is the pot? What type of soil is in the pot? What kind of drainage do you have? All of these factors influence how fast your plant is using the water and how often it needs to be watered. But the trick is you want to err on the side of underwatering your fiddle leaf fig and letting it dry out between waterings so that you're not killing it and causing root rot. So one of the best tips for knowing exactly when to water is using a soil meter, and I will link to the one that we created specifically with instructions for fiddle leaf figs. But this is really cool because you stick it in the soil and you just read, it's a scale of 1 to 10, and you water when it is a number 3 or less. So it's really easy to use, and it's a great way to know, yes, it's time to water, or no, I should wait a little bit longer before I water. Okay, so the fourth thing that I wish I knew is how hungry these plants get. Now they have big nutritional needs because their leaves are huge, they grow relatively quickly, and they will suck up all the nutrients in their grower's pot within a couple of weeks after you get them. And so if you're not feeding your plant is eventually going to suffer from yellowing, lack of growth, and just poor health in general. So you really want to be giving your plant the vitamins, the nutrients, and the enrichment that it needs to be healthy, to have immunity, and to grow stronger. And so we actually created our fiddle leaf fig plant food designed for the specific needs for a fiddle leaf fig. And it could not be easier to use. You simply use it every single time you water. So you use 1 teaspoon per plant every time you water. So probably like once a week or so. And this will give it the steady dose of nutrition that it needs. Almost like how people would take a multivitamin every day. You wouldn't take 30 multivitamins once a month, right? You want your plant to have that steady dose of nutrition so that you're not risking burning the roots by over fertilizing, and that your plant is getting all the nutrition that it needs to grow on a slow and steady basis. Okay, so the fifth thing I wish I knew is that the plant can only grow as big as its root ball can support. And so if you want a really big fiddle leaf fig, which a lot of us do, to make a big statement in our homes, you need to repot it into a larger pot so that it has space for the root ball to expand to support the growth of the plant. And so if you keep it in a tiny pot, it will never grow as big as you want it to grow. So you want to increase the diameter and the size of the pot. I repot at least once a year. I'll increase 2 to 4 inches of diameter, fill it with new fiddle leaf fig soil, fertilize it, and it will give you that big growth that you need. And then on the flip side, if you want your plant to stop growing, if it's big enough and you don't want it to get any bigger, simply stop expanding the root ball and stop repotting it, keep it in the same pot, and it'll stay about the same size. Okay, the sixth thing I wish I knew is that root rot is the #1 killer of fiddle leaf figs, and they are prone to root rot, and they can really get decimated in a matter of days or weeks once a root rot infection starts. So you want to always be on the lookout for this, especially with new plants that are coming to you from the nursery. They're very, very prone to root rot, and so you may even want to proactively treat root rot when you come home with a new plant. So we actually created a root supplement that will treat root rot in 24 hours or less. So it works in 2 ways. First of all, it kills the pathogens that are in the soil. Second of all, it boosts your plant's own immunity to help it bounce back from an infection. And so you simply mix the root supplement into the water it over your whole root ball, and it really can turn around your plant in a hurry. So this is really important to do at the first signs of root rot. So when you get a new plant, or if you see any brown spots, any dropping leaves, any leaves that are turning brown or black, and if you think that your plant has been overwatered or is, susceptible to root rot, you may want to sort of proactively treat against it, because once these leaves get brown spots or black spots on them, they're never going to recover. Those spots are always going to be there. And once you lose the leaf, it's never going to come back. So it's important to really treat them as soon as you see the symptoms to keep your plant from going downhill. All right, and the seventh thing I wish I knew before I bought a fiddle leaf fig is how amazing they are, how beautiful they are, how long they can live. They can actually live for generations, and they are so resilient. If you know how to take care of them, they can grow large and green and gorgeous and make such a statement in your home. You can grow them indoors, you can grow them outdoors, you can actually acclimate them to darker locations in your home over time. So they really are just an incredible houseplant. They clean the air in your home, they provide stress relief and a beautiful aesthetic, and they make a great gift too. And so they're such a cool plant. I just absolutely love them. I really recommend investing in a fiddle leaf fig for your home, and think about learning more about how to care for these beautiful plants. If you want to learn more, we have an amazing webinar called the Ultimate Fiddle Leaf Fig Webinar. It's totally free. You can sign up below, and we actually give you a free copy of the Fiddle Leaf Fig Expert book when you sign up for the webinar, or if you buy any of our products. So check out our store below, and if you want to learn more, you can actually take our full online video course called the Ultimate Fiddle Leaf Fig Course. And so I will link to that below. It is a 12-module video course to learn everything there is to know about fiddle leaf figs. I hope this video was helpful for you. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.